One deposit changes everything, and the next 72 hours decide whether fortune becomes freedom or a curse. The windfall is rare, but it happens. A lottery ticket strikes, an inheritance lands, an investment explodes and lives tilt in an instant. What follows is not a celebration. It is a pressure wave. Relationships strain, habits magnify, and the odds of disaster rise. Sudden wealth does not change people. It exposes them. For those who step into this moment, survival depends on a sequence of choices made before the party starts. The first choice is silence. The most valuable currency in the opening days is anonymity. When word travels, strangers turn into petitioners, old acquaintances into opportunists, and every minor disagreement invites a lawsuit. In a small prairie town, a man who couldn't stop announcing his prize turned his life into a parade. He bought cars for neighbors, held court at diners, and let the story become legend. Within 2 years, he had a fenced yard, security cameras on every corner, a marriage in pieces, and a family torn by tragedy. The fortune did not ruin him. The spotlight did. Disappear into ordinary. Keep the same routine, the same clothes, the same car. Speak to no one, with one exception. Find counsel. A seasoned attorney in trusts and estates becomes a shield. The trust is not just paperwork, it is a quiet room around your name. It can redirect taxes, mask ownership, and make it harder for anyone to connect the dots between you and the dollar signs. Tell the lawyer, not the group chat. Let privacy do its patient work. The second choice challenges a myth. Continuing to work does not mean keeping a job that drains you. Bored wealth is combustible. Without a mission, money becomes a toy, and toys break. One man, armed with a jackpot, bought a nightclub because he liked the lights. Nights turned into mornings, payroll bled cash, and the club became a magnet for every problem he had tried to leave behind. The lesson is not that work saves you, purpose does. If a boss taunts or a job belittles, walk away with dignity. Then pick a path that keeps you moving. Volunteer, consult, apprentice, learn. Hold the line for 6 months of normal days. Let the novelty pass. Spend no more time than necessary thinking about how to spend. The third choice is arithmetic with teeth. Debt does not care about your new balance. It is a leak in the hull. High-interest balances on cards and quick loans consume money at a pace that outstrips almost any investment. Wipe them first. Every dollar that kills a 25% rate is a risk-free victory. Car notes and personal loans follow if their interest bites hard. Low mortgage rates are different. Cheap debt is a tool. If the home loan costs 2 or 3%, the math often favors leaving it intact while your capital earns elsewhere. It feels counterintuitive, but survival favors discipline over symbolism. The fourth choice happens at dinner tables and on late-night calls. Windfalls attract claims of fairness. Some will ask for loans. Loans fracture families more reliably than almost anything. Debt between loved ones turns every conversation into a calendar reminder and every holiday into tension. Draw a boundary that looks like kindness. If someone truly needs help, give a one-time gift with no conditions except one. No second request. Compassion without a pipeline preserves relationships. Without this line, a relative becomes a bill, and your fortune becomes their plan. The fifth choice turns a pile of money into a living organism. Capital can be a tree or a bonfire. Cut principal and heat flares for a season. Grow principal and fruit appears every year. The freedom figure is simple in concept. Add up the annual income needed for the life you actually want, then multiply by 25. That total becomes the orchard. Live on the fruit. A household that needs 200,000 per year should aim for 5 million invested, not spent. With this ratio, the harvest can support the life while the roots stay intact. Some years yield more, some less, but the habit remains. The sixth choice concerns the landscape where the orchard grows. Preservation outruns thrill. When the tide turns, diversified positions float longer than single bets. A sensible spread might look like this. A slice in a broad basket of stocks, the kind that holds hundreds of companies across industries, becomes your long-horizon growth engine. History suggests high single-digit annual returns over long stretches, though every era differs. A second slice sits in bonds, the steady payers that cushion storms and deliver regular interest. A third allocation moves into property. Homes for families tend to rise with time and force discipline, while well-chosen commercial spaces can anchor cash flow with tenants that stay and maintain. A smaller, speculative piece can ride with blue-chip crypto, treated as a moonshot. Volatile and unpromised, but with potential that few traditional assets match. The final piece belongs to high-yield savings, not for thrill, but for resilience, liquidity, and a quiet night's sleep. In an average year, such a constellation can throw off income that rivals a senior executive's paycheck, while your principal remains intact. Nothing is guaranteed, but the shape favors survival. The seventh choice honors the human core of all this. A fortune is not a car, a gate, or a square footage stat. It is time. Set aside a measured sum for joy. Celebrate with intention. Buy the instrument, take the trip, fund the dream you shelved, then guard the rest. People who endure learn that freedom is the luxury to say no, the ability to choose the day's shape, and the grace to invest in a legacy bigger than themselves. Create scholarships, back research, plant forests, start a library. The story begins in secrecy and ends in contribution. Sudden wealth is a test of character disguised as a bank balance. It introduces a quiet truth. Those who keep it do not behave like winners. They behave like custodians. When the deposit hits and the clock starts, what would you choose to buy first? The silence that protects it, or the spotlight that consumes it?